All right, let's jump right in. We are all living in a world of, well, stuff. A seemingly endless ocean of items and parts and products. But what happens when all that abundance just turns into pure chaos? Today, we're going to look at how creating order isn't just about being neat. It's about unlocking a genuine superpower.
So it all kicks off with this simple, almost unbelievable story. An electric company over in the UK did a little digging and discovered they had, and you're not going to believe this, as many as 118 different names and codes for the exact same screw. We're talking a basic 6-inch long screw.
118. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Imagine you're trying to manage that inventory. Is a fastener, hex head, 6-inch the same thing as a bolt equipment Series B? You know, with 118 different descriptions flying around, the answer is just a giant shrug. Who knows?
And that's really the crucial point here. This isn't some quirky little naming problem. No, it leads directly to confusion. That confusion leads to different departments ordering the exact same part they already have in stock. And that leads to overstocking, tying up a ton of money and space and stuff you don't need. It's pure chaos, and it is incredibly expensive. So how do you even begin to fight back?
Well, you start with step one. You have to tame the chaos. This is all about taking that giant, messy pile of everything and finally starting to make some sense of it. And the first tool you're going to use is one we all know, even if we don't call it by its official name.
That first tool, it's something we do all the time. Classification. It's really just a fancy word for putting like things with like things. You create these logical groups. All your raw materials go in one pile, all the furniture in another, and all those consumables like pencils and lubricants, they get their own spot too. It's the most fundamental step to digging yourself out of the mess. And the effect is immediate. You can see it right here. On the left, you've got this totally random list. It's just noise, right? But look at the right. As soon as you classify it, boom, a clear structure just appears out of nowhere. You can see exactly what you're dealing with at a single glance. This simple act of sorting is the foundation for absolutely everything that comes next. Okay, so you've sorted everything into these nice, neat piles. But how do you make sure they stay sorted? And more importantly, how does everyone find what they need? Well, that brings us to step 2. You've got to create a secret code for every single item.
This is where you give every item its own unique, unmistakable identity. Think of it like a social security number for a screw or a PIN code for a pencil. No more long, descriptive names, no more brand names, just one single, logical code that means one thing and one thing only.
And this is where the real power starts to show. Take a look at this code for a simple pencil. Now, at first glance, it might seem a little complex, but it's pure logic. Those first 2 digits, the 07, that just tells you it's a stationary item. The next 2, 39, well, that narrows it down to a lead pencil. 12 tells you the quality, it's black, HB, and that final 36 can even specify its intended use and price. All of a sudden, a whole sentence of description gets compressed into one unique number.
This whole process, it has a name. It's called codification. And its goal is super simple. Eliminate all confusion. Period. With a good code, you can never, ever mistake one item for another. That mass of 118 different names for a single screw? Gone. It's replaced by one single, universally understood code. So you've classified and you've codified. You've brought order to all the chaos that was already there. But this final step, this is the most powerful one. This is where you go from just managing your stuff to actually mastering it. Welcome to the art of less.
This is called standardization, and trust me, it's a total game changer. It goes way beyond just organizing what you already have. It forces you to ask a really critical question. Do we even need all this different stuff in the first place? It's all about looking at your 10 slightly different versions of the same thing and deciding on one single, effective and economical standard.
And this right here is the question at the heart of the whole process. Do you really need a screw that's 5.9 inches, and another that's 6 inches, and a third that's 6.1 inches? Or could one single standard 6-inch screw do the job perfectly for all 3? Standardization forces you to get honest and answer that question.
So why on earth would you go through all this trouble? Why classify, codify, and standardize? Well, because the payoff for creating this kind of deep, systematic order it's absolutely massive.
First, the impact on your efficiency and your wallet is immediate. You stop duplicating items, which means you can reduce the total amount of inventory you have to keep on hand. Buying stuff gets way simpler because you're ordering fewer types of things. Everything is easier to find in the warehouse, and because it all has a unique code, it's an absolute dream for computer systems to manage. But beyond that, it massively improves quality and usability. You know, standardization is the reason you can buy any brand of light bulb and know it's going to fit in your lamp. It creates interchangeability, it makes quality control so much easier because you're only checking one standard part instead of 10 similar but not quite the same ones. And it allows for easy replacement of parts, which creates trust and confidence for customers all over the world.
And you know, the benefits extend so far beyond the factory floor. These same principles of standardization are what keep us safe and healthy every day. I mean, think about it. Helmet standards make sure they can actually protect you in a crash. Food standards ensure that what we eat is safe, and emission standards are designed to protect our environment. This isn't just a business idea. It's a powerful concept that literally shapes our world for the better.
So the crucial takeaway is this, and this quote just says it all perfectly. When you bring this kind of logical order to any system, the benefits are just huge. You get a stronger economy, you get lower costs, you waste less human effort, and you conserve precious materials. It is a win on every single level.
Which, of course, leaves us with one final thought. Whether it's in your company's supply chain, or your team's workflow, or even just the messy files on your own computer, what's the screw with 118 names in your world? Where's that hidden chaos that's just waiting for a little bit of order to unlock its true power?